YB stays on your neck.
It's on my neck.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So Sergey Kovalev has essentially come out and confirmed everything the YB was saying after Canelo versus Kovalev. He's come out and said, mugged all you fans who were saying, oh yeah, Kovalev gave his best. Oh yeah, oh Canelo's just so good. He knocked out the best Kovalev in history. Kovalev's mugged you lot all off and called you ignoramuses. Fully mugged you, man. All you man that was blowing him up. You got mugged off. Simple as that. He's come out and said, anyone who thought I could win that fight, all you muppets that thought I was actually fighting properly, you're ignoramuses. His actual quote was, given the conditions, it was impossible to win. You are ignoramuses since you thought I could win. I climbed into this weight with torment and sleepless nights because it was a financially interesting offer. So essentially there, and I think you got to realise as well, Kovalev is one of them cats who, he's got a big ego. So when, I remember after the Andre Ward fight, he never really put his hands in the air and said, yeah, I lost. He was always like, oh, this, that, the other. He doesn't like, even though he's an older man now, he still doesn't like the idea of losing. So he's essentially come out and in so many words told you lot, did you really think I was going to win? Meaning that, trying to get the message out there, or what I'm trying to say is, Kovalev is essentially coming out and in so many words telling you lot, do you really think I was fighting properly? Please don't think this midget really beat me. Yeah, I did this for the money. I fell over for the money because even as a man, he's got a big ego. Like I said in the Andre Ward fights, he never came out and said, "Yeah, Andre Ward had my number." He doesn't like, and that's for most men. Most men are similar. But my point is, he's coming out and telling you, do you think Canelo really beat me? Absolutely not. I fell over and did absolutely nothing the whole fight because I was paid off. Please don't think that this was a real fight. Please don't think I was doing it properly. Now don't get me wrong, he can't come out and tell you, oh, I wasn't fighting properly because I was paid off. He can't do that. So he's got to say it in other terms. Oh yeah, oh please don't think I was really doing it properly. Oh, I was ill. Oh, I wasn't eating properly, because all that stuff's great, but if you knew you weren't fit and you weren't this and you weren't that, number one, before the fight you were selling the pay-per-view okay, and number two, your attitude in the fight. If you knew you only had 6 rounds in you, why didn't you give us a good 6 rounds? Big hard back man as you are, big 175er. Big 175er against an average 160 pounder. What, and you didn't think to give it a go? Knowing that, and what I don't understand is, he ended up getting knocked spark out anyway. Well, let's be real now. I think he got hit with a left hook and then he kind of stuck his chin in the air and said, please, put me out with the right hand. That's what happened. He got hit with the left hook and then he tilted his chin in the air, looked up towards the sky and said, please, hit me flush in the please hit me flush in the face with the right now. That's what he did. I've never seen anything like it. He gets hit with a shot and his hands go down and his chin goes up. I thought, you meant to do the opposite, ain't you? He thought, yes, finish me now, and he got finished. He flopped to the ground and whatever it was. But he's now come out and told you, look, all you man who thought this was a real fight, who thought I was fighting properly, please don't think that. It was a good lot of money, and I fell over. And this is exactly what I needed to hear. And it's funny because Canelo's trainer has actually come out and they've clapped back. They've said the following. They said, first of all, I want to clarify, as a coach and manager of Saul, that we do not dehydrate anyone or fix or buy fights or opponents. We have always adapted to the terms of the opponents, and even with Floyd Mayweather, we accepted his agreed upon weight of 152 pounds. It seems that there are dark intentions to discredit our fighter, and more than anything, try to minimize his achievements. As true fans and as Mexicans, we should be proud that at this time, the best fighter is Mexican. Now, it's funny, his choice of, or it's not funny, but his choice of words here, he says, oh, first of all, I want to clarify that we do not dehydrate anyone. Well, you do dehydrate anyone. What are you talking about? That fight against Kovalev, they had a 10-pound weight, whatever it's called, or I'm not even sure what it was. All I know is there was a clause. So please don't say there wasn't one, because there was one. In fact, all of your fights, there are clauses. Even Danny Jacobs had a clause, and he was at your weight of 160. I'm sure of it. So let's talk turkey here. Canelo is renowned for weight weight clauses, and I've never really respected that. If you go up to 160, fight at 160. My mum was fighting at 160 and doing it at 157, all kinds of madness. So the fact they've come out and said, oh, we don't do this when they blatantly do, that tells me what else you're lying about. And the fact he's even responding to it says a lot, really. I think often when people respond to things, it's because they're true. And I'm sorry, but anyone who watches that, people can say, oh, YB, this, that, the other. That fight didn't look right to me. They were touching gloves way too much. Spent more time. If Kovalev spent more time trying to actually box Canelo's cunt in for him, he might have been, rather than touching gloves every 2 seconds. I've never seen anything, honestly, I've seen people sparring and have less touchy gloves. They were touching mid-round. Every time the referee separated them, touch gloves. Every time referee ended the clinch, touch gloves. Every time ended the ring, touch gloves. Started a round, touch gloves. Or people telling me, oh, YB, oh, you don't understand, they're being respectful. Is it a fight or is it a respect match? I'm confused. What is it? What game is it? Respect or fight? No, I've got no problem as well. If you want to touch gloves before the fight, if you want to touch gloves after the fight, in fact, if you want to touch gloves if you accidentally foul someone, I get that. You know what? Sorry about that, boss. Touch gloves, fine. But do you really? You don't need to do it every 2 seconds. Especially when, I wouldn't mind, you know, I'm all for seeing a bit of respect. Let's say they were really going at it, and Kovalev was giving it his all. Whether he lost or not's irrelevant. And this is what I'm getting frustrated with boxing at the moment. Too much in boxing. You have these people like Kovalev go in there, fall over for the check, and then mug you fans off, mug you man off for believing in him. That's what we get these days. Rather than he should be looking at himself, why did you choose to fall? Rather than calling everyone else muppets for believing you could win, why don't you look at yourself? Yeah, people believed in you because you're a big hardback 175er to Crusher, who is 2 weight divisions bigger. So you're really the ignoramus. Well, you're not, because you're $15-20 million richer. But still, if theoretically, in terms of your boxing soul is rotten, Kovalev. You've sold out. That's one of the cardinal sins. The worst thing you can do is go in there and just fall over. And anyone who watches that fight and thinks Kovalev's giving it his all, and Canelo really beat him, as in, or Canelo beat a man who really wanted to be there and who really was trying to win, then you're just delusional. You really are. If you watch that fight and think Kovalev's giving it his all, I don't know what more I can do, really. Yeah? He was not even a bit trying in that ring. He was in there just kind of fluffing about the place. And even if and the funny thing is, people say, oh, YB, well, the reason his right hand got turned off was because of the left hook. Fine, you know what? I'll give you that one. But explain the jab then. Explain why Kovalev never stuck a hard jab in. Never. So, you got to remember, these guys are high experienced boxers. They're not YouTube commentators or YouTube commenters. What they're proper boxers, meaning that if Kovalev realised his right hand had been disabled, why didn't he put more snare on his jab then? You got bearing in mind, Kovalev in the ring, he was allegedly trying to win the fight. So he must have noticed, you know what, I'm not going to throw the right hand anymore, so instead I'm going to try and bust him up with the jab. Why didn't that happen? And you got this idiot hat man saying, oh, people don't realise, Kovalev's been working with Buddy McGirt, so he's just been training to fluffy the jab. So, you know when you train, if you train to fluffy a jab, it doesn't mean you forget how to put a hard one out. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, he doesn't train for hard jabs anymore. What planet are you on? A hard jab's a hard jab. Regardless of what you train for, even if you trained all week, just pure, or all year, just fluffy jabs, you'd still have the capacity. It's not about what you train for, it's about your level of effort. Yes, what might change is your ultimate power, as in if you only train fluffy jabs, then yeah, your ultimate power may go down, but still, you can still change the intensity. So when Kovalev, my question is, why when Kovalev, having the IQ he has, noticed things were happening, number one, why didn't he try and counter Canelo's counter? As an example, he could have feinted a right hand and tried to lure Canelo's left hook out and then put a hard one down, yeah? Or he could have threw a throwaway right hand, then catch the left hook and then bang the right hand again. Where was that? I'm a casual, but that sort of stuff should be happening. The minute someone counters you, you think, you know what? Every time, because the minute someone does something again and again, that's what you call a pattern. And that's the first thing Kovalev could notice. Oh, okay, I see what you're trying to do there, Canelo. That's cute. Next time I throw my right hand, you're going to get another one straight after it. Because Canelo wasn't prepared. I don't think he was anyway. But that's the whole point. You're meant to try them things out at this level. We're talking the top premier level of boxing. Oh, well, he threw a counter left hook and, that's the reason his right hand disappeared, YB. Okay. Well, if we're talking about amateur boxing, then great. But this is meant to be top level. And besides, he's now come out and told you like what was really going on. I had no intentions of winning. Anyone who thought I could win is stupid. Anyone who thought a man two weight divisions heavier could win is stupid. The only way that makes sense is if he's telling you there was no way I was going to win because I've been paid off. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to beat Canelo. Because for me, all I want to see in this sport is a bit more effort at the moment. I'm just not getting no effort. And then people can sit there and say, oh, YB, you never been in the ring. You never done this, you never done that. That's fine. But what I do know is, I've been in sport myself, and yeah, sometimes I bottled it or whatever, but the fact of the matter is, more than half of the time, I got in there and I gave it my all. That's the minimum. In fact, I'd say probably not 80-90% of the time, 80% of the time, I got in there and I gave it my all. Not many boxers can say that today, I'm sorry. At the top level, not many boxers can really say, I gave it my all. Kovalev can't. And there's a bag more man that I'm not even going to mention, who also can't say they've really given it their all. People got kind of go in there and just go through the motions. And the worst thing is they're getting paid more. Back in the early days, that's the reason I think the money's kind of ruined it, because back in the early days, your rep was all you had. Like, you needed to be fighting often, and the only way you got often fights was if you started winning some. The only way you got paid relatively more money was by winning. Now you've got people just rocking up for big paydays and just falling over and not giving effort. Anyway. This Kovalev's done now. I don't want to hear no more about Kovalev. Kovalev's completely finished. A complete joke. The fact that he's mugging fans off who believed in him, he's just. I just don't get the mindset. But anyway, man, I'm done with Kovalev. Don't let me ever see that man around anyway. Oh, that's the funny thing as well. Just quickly, people saying it weren't a setup. Kathy there's an interview on YouTube of Kathy Duva saying that, oh yeah, we don't really win or lose, we've got more fights booked. What's that about? What do you mean win or lose, we've got more yeah, it doesn't really matter about the result. What? What's that about? What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't really matter about the result? It absolutely does matter about the result. Because if you beat him, that means you get a bigger rematch. You get paid 10 times more for the rematch. So that's another thing that doesn't make sense to me. People say, oh well, yeah, it wasn't a setup because it's that the other. In reality, people fighting Canelo should really go for it, because the rematch, if you win, is like Andy Ruiz as an example. You go from making X amount to double it. That's what happens when you fight Canelo. If you beat him, I mean. Or even if you put up a really cracking fight that people want to see again, like Golovkin. You get a rematch, you get double it. But these fighters, they don't seem to be too sharp. They seem to be happy just to sell their soul once and get out of there.